Hey guys, Martin the Martian here with a review for the movie Birdman, other known as The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. It's kind of weird title, but the movie is also kind of weird. It kind of has to do with almost anything really. It deals with directing a movie, it deals with film critics, it deals with family problems, it deals with social media, stuff like that. Like, it's just, this movie has a lot of variety to the movie. And before I go on to the plot and stuff like that, let me talk about the characters. The actors in this movie are just A1 phenomenal. Like if I can list them out: Michael Keaton, Emma Stone, Edward Norton, Naomi Watson or Watts, Zach Galifianakis. I hope I didn't butcher his last name, and a bunch more. Those, like, everybody did a really great job. I should say Michael Keaton did the best performance in his career, and he's also the main character, which is a director in Broadway that wants to build this play, and he's struggling to make enough money just to make this play, but he really wants to make this play work out. And as the movie progresses, things start to crumble on him, and it makes it difficult for him to actually make this play happen. And he has a lot on his belt, on his shoulders, I should say, with this play and with everything, and him and his daughter's relationship, and like a whole bunch of other people. Edward Norton plays this actor in the Broadway play that thinks he's all that, thinks he can change the play, that he owns the show and everything, and he's going to be the next big thing, but he really isn't. And I think he really did a good job as his performance in this movie, acting as an actor, if that makes sense. He also thinks that he is himself when he is on stage performing, but that when he is in real life, that he's acting. So it's like the other way around. And not only that, back to Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is constantly hearing voices from this character that he played in his younger days named Birdman. That's where the title of it comes from. And it's like his alter ego, but you hear voices and he's like his conscience, sorta. And it's sort of tempting him, teasing him, all these things, taunting and everything, telling him to do this, telling him to do that. And it was like a nice dynamic in there, added in there. There's like a psychological battle in this movie with him. Emma Stone plays the daughter of Michael Keaton, who has a troubled past with a troubled now with her father and her parents and everything. And it's a lot of family problems, but it's not cliche. It works, and I thought it was very touching. And she may have probably given her best performance here also. Now, there's so many characters that I can talk about, but those three are really like the highlights of the movie. Everyone else is great, but those three are like bam up there. So this movie, I think, is just phenomenal. Besides the plot, besides the characters, the themes are there too. Like I said, it talks about film criticism, it talks about family issues, it talks about, money issues, social media, all this stuff. A lot of metaphors are in this movie. It talks about alter egos and how you are not yourself around other people, and you are yourself in a certain scenario or situation. Another thing this movie talks about is big blockbuster movies. Now, I'm a fan of big blockbusters. I love Avengers and all those other big things that come by, but this movie, it doesn't really make fun of it, but it acknowledges the flaws that these movies have and how people view movies nowadays, especially film criticisms. Like that, I'm going to transition over to that. Film criticisms, I think that really touched me at home. I mean, I don't consider myself a film critic. I just love to give my opinion out there. And that's all it is. And this movie talks about this one girl that wants to give this director a bad review just because she hasn't even seen the play yet. And he goes off on her, telling her all these things about how film critics are nowadays and everything. And it's the truth. Everything he says is the truth, that these film critics, like, they just watch a movie and they try and find like a quote to say, best movie of the year, best movie in America, stunning, epic in every sense of the word, to put it on the Blu-ray disc. And it's more than that. It involves the actors, plot, story structure, filmography, like cinematography, everything. It's not just like one thing that you can describe a movie. Especially this movie, Birdman. It's just, Birdman can be anything. It can talk about, and it relates to anything, really. Which I can give major props to this movie. Now, I haven't talked about this yet, but the way this movie is shot is, it's shot like if it's in one take. Now, obviously it's not in one take, but they do very like genius editing to make it look like it's in one take. And to add that on, I had this weird feeling in my gut, and it's not a bad feeling. It's that I felt like I was there. Now, movies, it's rare for that to happen to me. Now, a movie like this, the way it was shot, it really did feel like I was there because there weren't any cuts that took me out of the movie. Like there weren't any cuts from what it looked like. So that's another thing that I can give this movie major props to. I mean, I can praise this movie all day long. If there's anything that I can be nitpicky about this movie would be that it sometimes has the lens glare. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like in the corner, watch a Michael Bay movie, Transformers, you'll know what I mean, when like the light is in the background and it's like you can't really see. That movie sometimes has that, but it's acceptable because it's not crazy and the rest of the movie is phenomenal, so it makes up for it a lot. And really just this movie, I don't know how else I can talk about this movie because without giving away so much, but I thought that it was genius. I thought it was like beautiful from the way it was shot and everything, and I was just mind blown by the end of this all. So I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. It's in a galaxy far, far away. Why did I do that there? But it's a great movie, phenomenal. You guys need to go see it. I mean, it came out in 2014, so you guys figure that out how to see it. But I mean, I picked it up at the library and oh my gosh, so good. I'm probably gonna watch it again before I return it. But let me know what you guys think about the movie if you guys have seen it. And thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.